Please help me and get me just 100 subscribers. When I married Rachel, I thought I had found my forever. Our wedding day was perfect. Friends, family, music, laughter. We were the picture of happiness. But just a month into marriage, things felt off. Every time I tried to get close to her, hold her, kiss her, anything beyond surface-level affection, she would gently push me away with the same excuse. Not yet. I'm not ready. At first, I told myself it was normal. Marriage was a big change. Maybe she just needed time. But as the weeks went by, the rejection started to sting. We were supposed to be in our honeymoon phase, and yet we were sleeping on opposite sides of the bed like distant roommates. I finally decided to bring it up one night after dinner. Rachel, I said carefully, we've been married a month now. I love you, but I feel like there's this wall between us. What's going on? She avoided my eyes, picking at her food. I don't want to rush things, she said. Can you be patient with me? I nodded, but deep down I was unsettled. I had been patient. We had been engaged for a year before this, and I had respected her wish to wait until marriage. But now we were married, and instead of getting closer, it felt like she was pulling away. The more I thought about it, the more suspicious I became. Rachel always seemed to be on her phone when she thought I wasn't looking, smiling at messages she never shared with me. She started going out with her friends more often, leaving me home alone. The tension in our house grew thicker every day. One Friday night, she told me she was heading to a girls' night. Something about the way she said it, too casual, too quick, made me decide to follow her. I felt like a terrible husband, but my gut wouldn't let it go. I waited a few minutes after she left, then grabbed my keys and quietly drove after her. She didn't go to her best friend Megan's house like she said. Instead, she pulled up to an apartment complex across town. And that's when my stomach dropped. I parked a few spaces back and killed the engine, my hands gripping the steering wheel so tightly my knuckles turned white. Rachel stepped out of the car, checked her phone, and walked straight into one of the ground floor apartments. She didn't even look around to see if anyone might be watching. I sat there for a good 5 minutes, my heart pounding, until finally curiosity got the better of me. I climbed out, staying in the shadows, and crept toward the window of the apartment she had entered. The blinds weren't fully closed, and what I saw through that narrow slit turned my blood cold. Rachel wasn't with her girlfriends. She was sitting on a couch, next to a man I had never seen before. The way she leaned into him, the way his hand rested casually on her thigh, the way she laughed at something he whispered. It was more intimacy than she had ever shown me in our entire month of marriage. I stumbled back from the window, bile rising in my throat. My first instinct was to storm inside and demand answers, but I forced myself to stay calm. If I confronted her right now, she would deny everything and twist the story to make me the bad guy. No, I needed proof. I took out my phone and snapped a few photos, my hands shaking so badly I almost dropped it. Then I turned and walked back to my car, every step heavier than the last. When Rachel came home later that night, I was sitting at the kitchen table waiting for her. She tried to act casual, but I could see the guilt written all over her face. How was girls' night? I asked, my voice flat. She froze, her hand still on the doorknob. It was fine, she said carefully. I slid my phone across the table toward her. Funny, I said, because this doesn't look like a girls' night to me. Her eyes widened as she saw the photos. For a moment, she looked like she might deny it, but then her shoulders slumped, and she just stood there, silent. Who is he? I asked. And how long has this been going on? When she finally spoke, her answer nearly knocked the breath out of me. Rachel sank into the chair across from me, her face pale. His name is Daniel, she said finally, her voice barely above a whisper. We were together before you and I got engaged. When I called things off with him, he didn't take it well. I thought marrying you would make the feelings go away, but when I saw him again a few months ago, You what? I snapped, my anger boiling over. You decided to keep me on standby while you figured out if you still loved him? Tears welled up in her eyes, but I wasn't moved. It wasn't supposed to happen like this, she said. I just needed time to be sure. Time. I cut her off, slamming my hand on the table. You had all the time in the world before we got married, Rachel. You could have told me the truth. You could have ended this before we ever said I do. But you didn't. You stood there in front of everyone we love, made vows to me, and then spent the first month of our marriage sneaking around with another man. She tried to reach for my hand, but I pulled away. I had already made up my mind. I stood, grabbed the overnight bag I had packed earlier, and headed for the door. "Where are you going?" she asked, her voice trembling. "To my brother's," I said without turning back. "Tomorrow morning, you're going to find divorce papers on this table. You wanted space between us? You got it." She broke down sobbing, but I didn't stay to comfort her. I couldn't. As I stepped into the night air, a strange calm washed over me. Yes, I was hurt, gutted, even, but I was also relieved. Relieved that I had listened to my instincts and uncovered the truth before wasting years of my life on someone who was never truly mine. Over the next few weeks, I followed through. I filed for divorce, blocked Rachel on everything, and focused on getting my life back. It wasn't easy. I had to face the humiliation of telling my friends and family that my marriage had fallen apart after just 1 month. But oddly enough, I felt stronger for it. Rachel's betrayal had taught me the most important lesson of my life. Sometimes, walking away isn't the end. It's the beginning of finally choosing yourself.